Hi, this is Eric Lehman, and welcome to another edition of Morning Has Broken, and I Don't Want to Fix It. Um, wow, today was still is, a pretty rich day. Um, got a lot of beautiful energy, and I'm also realizing that it's important that I do because there's a lot of stuff that it may appear pretty heavy to a lot of people. Just came to my attention that someone posted an anti-bullying YouTube video and then proceeded to commit suicide in Canada. And another friend of mine I bumped into today was just feeling really. He was feeling a lot of the pain and the angst that the world is feeling, and I just feel um, I feel in an energetic place to kind of lend some energy to many of these things and to sort of start by going gently with ourselves. Um, there's a lot of stuff that affects a lot of people in this world, and um, it's as someone who tries with every word that I choose, I try to lift my own energy and then serve as a model for the universe, serve as a model for those next to me. Um, there are times where I've not wanted to use the term bullying. I've not wanted to give that much energy to a phenomenon that, to be really honest, I experienced a lot of when I was a kid. Um, I don't know. I don't want to give a reason why I was bullied, and I think maybe it's just um, that I was sort of a willing target in the sense that I didn't really lash back, um, and I wouldn't lash back with similar energy throughout my entire life. Um, and somewhat comically, my middle name's Conan, as in Conan the Barbarian, and that was a good enough excuse to pick on me. There were times I was picked on because I was Jewish. There were other different reasons that I was picked on that other people gave for picking on me. What I'm realizing is that um, whether you're the one being picked on or you're the one doing the picking, there's like generations of energy that's created these things, this feeling, this sense that any one person's experience is is worth interrupting with this energy, with quote unquote bullying energy. And um and like the truth is that, like, there are a lot of programs that are anti-bullying programs, and they try to confront it, address it, you know straight out, and they try to create a common language around it. um, my heart's belief is that this is truly just a symptom. Bullying is a symptom of a deeper pain that is going on, that has been going on for generations. And it's conceivable that that we may just be prolonging bullying by creating programs that just address bullying. I don't know if that makes sense to many people. It makes sense to my heart. It's just like there's something deeper. You can probably stop the action of bullying by, in essence, tying a bully's hands behind their back. Maybe that could do it. Maybe that could stop it in the moment. There were times where I was bullied physically, and people liked to beat me up. Um, I'll admit that I took a small bus. I took the tart cart. That's what they called it. Um, I took the short bus when I was a kid because I wouldn't fight back. Um, it's kind of interesting, in high school and late junior high, I joined the wrestling team just to bulk up and just to have a physical appearance. Um, that was a little bit more daunting than 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 I used to look. Um, and yet, when faced with the idea of fighting back, I never did it. In fact, I've only thrown one punch in my whole entire life at another human being. Um, and it was for way different reasons than defending my own body. And and I'm not even proud that I did that. I don't like admitting that. I'm just sharing that truth. So I guess what I'm getting at is that if we don't spend time working on the energy that created these feelings, that it's okay to interrupt someone else's experience with our opinions, with our sense of of you know what's right and wrong with someone else's life. If we make fun of someone because they're Jewish, because they're small, because they're overweight, because they're underweight, um, that's part of a larger condition, and that it's curable, it's healable. It takes some intention and it takes some time, and I believe deeply, deeply inside every cell in my body and beyond that the condition that creates bullying is curable. It's just time that we put more of our energy on curing conditions and healing conditions than healing symptoms like bullying. So whenever I hear the word bullying, it doesn't point to that act. It points to a larger condition that that's really important and timely to address right now. So I'm saying this because my heart hurts right now, hearing that some people have been called to take their own lives because living on this earth plane is too painful for them because of their experience of bullying. And sometimes bullying is no longer even a physical act. Sometimes it's just an act of persecution, discrimination online. Um, we don't, with all the gadgetry we have, with all the iPhones and smartphones and not so smartphones, we have constant access to devices that can be used for good and devices that can be used for not so good reasons. And, I'm the first one to get rid of the term good and bad in my life. I know in my heart of hearts this is all perfect and whatever manifestation happens. All that being said, I do wish that people would stop looking at symptoms and start looking at every opportunity that they have to communicate with someone else as a way to lift someone up. It's a constant choice. You can 99 times out of 100 choose to put someone down, and that 100th is still the 100th time you communicate is still a choice. Because along with my belief that there's no good and bad, I also believe that there's no good people and bad people. People that have been called bad have immediate access to transformation based on the next choice they get to make, not based on the 99 or a million choices they made in advance of what has happened before. And that's just the truth for everyone out there. And I think some of it is like, what I really understand now is that we sort of want to get credit. We want to be known for the good deeds that we do. And that's totally our ego talking. Because I can tell you that there's a lot of things that I've probably done that no one has known, no one's given me credit for. I haven't sought credit for it. And yet I did it anyway. I did it in the middle of the night so that nobody knew what I did. And it's important that I don't do it necessarily for recognition. That's my journey. Um, it's also important to celebrate the good things that we do. A friend of mine, Charlie Johnson, at the Pay It Forward Foundation, he talks about like the fact that so many people give anonymously, and instead of giving anonymously, we might want to celebrate the gift of giving, the act of giving, so that people know who gave and what it means to give and what it means to really feel how great it feels to give. That's what's so important in this world right now. How great does it feel when you lift someone up? I'll tell you firsthand, I do it a lot every day. I do it so much every day, and it feels great. And the good news about it is that I may not have taken the opportunity to lift someone up 10 out of 10 times. And then in the 11th moment, I can totally do it. I can lift someone up. That friend of mine I bumped into at the farmer's market today who was really feeling kind of the angst of the universe today. He was really down with it. And I just shared with him about the uplifting experience I had with the Dalai Lama, and it shifted his energy. And like there was just this beautiful thank you, and it really it made both of our days. It didn't just make his day. Like my day was made better by sharing uplifting sentiments, and I think that's really what we get to explore in this world that is truly abundant, is just the idea that we can lift each other up at any time. We can do this anytime we want. And it's important to just keep on doing it, whether or not we get credit, whether or not the people that we do it for give us the credit that we're after. I've experienced a lot in my life where, sometimes, I did a lot of nice things for people and they just didn't take notice or didn't come in a language that they would understand. So I didn't get credit, right? And earlier on in my life, I would kind of roll up in a hole and just sort of admit defeat. And I'm not doing that anymore. When given the chance to lift someone up, given the choice as to whether to lift someone up or put them down, I'm going to try my best to lift someone up. That's my choice. I'm excited that I get to make it. And however someone wants to judge me, that's up to them. That's their choice. And that's what I've really learned from the Dalai Lama and people who look similarly at the universe or at the way things work in the universe, is that what we first get to do is detach. We get to see a situation, feel the emotions that are coming up that are human, and then we can immediately detach from those emotions and choose differently. And then once we detach, we can actually create with any given moment unconditional love. And I think that's what I'm loving about this part of the journey, is that I'm learning that unconditional love is possible. And it's possible because of detachment. It's not possible when we think that all of love is conditional. And I think that's a big concept, and I'll probably spend more time on that with the next recording. But love is not love itself. There's no conditions. When we use the word love, there's no conditions around that. It's the words that we put around it. I love you as a friend. I love you this way. I love you because you're my uncle. I love you doesn't mean I have to like you. All these different things. We qualify this word love. And it's really interesting, especially in the English language. We have so few words for love compared to other languages out there. And it's just really interesting. I'm not lobbying for a different lexicon. I'm just saying that it's just interesting to know that we have this like one size fits all 4 letter word called love, and it's the words that we put around it that shape it, that take things away from it. And I believe those 4 letters are so pure, they're so amazing, and the conditions are found around it. So, I'm lobbying to just make a stand that unconditional love is possible, and it's possible through detachment. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I think detachment could look like, or how detachment has come into my world um, in the future. I wanted to share because this was pretty ripe for conversation. Just the fact that someone is willing to take their own life, because of the experience of being bullied, um, just needs some time and attention. So I love you all. I'm going to talk more soon, and we'll take it from there. Have a great one. Bye.